All right, what's up? Season 43. It's been a very long time since I posted videos. Didn't do any last season, and it's obviously been a very long time since we've had any wars that mattered. It's been 2.5 months. So, yeah, I'm going to do my very best to post wars throughout this season. And, yeah, hopefully everything goes well. I don't embarrass myself too much. We will see. This war's a little bit sloppy. A lot of people, I think, were feeling the effects of rust throughout this war, and for whatever reason, my first fight is definitely my worst. I'm not going to be taking Void. That is going to be Carl. He's going to clear that with his Mole Man, and then I'm going to be taking Nick Fury here with Professor X. So the reason that I wanted to bring Professor X is for Sasquatch on node 48. It's a very strong placement. They banned Scorpion. We wouldn't use Scorpion there anyway, but they also banned Spider-Man 99. And then I think Ghost was their third. Spider-Man 99 is a great option for 48, probably the safest option. And so, yeah, I mean, you know, obviously we have Torch available this season, but Sassy has a ton of health on that node, and I don't know, for whatever reason, Lizer and I felt that Professor X would be the safest option. So basically, you know, from there we kind of reverse engineered what my paths would be to try to get Professor X built up a little bit. I just want to get to 3 Cerebro charges, the persistent charges, and I get 1 for winning a fight. So this fight here, my whole plan was, because of the heal block and you know, the weaknesses, I was just going to play him stun immune. Just going to bait his heavies and let him do the entire heavy animation to give myself a little bit of extra time to charge my own heavy, which is going to give me more channeling charges, those charges to the left of the heal block debuff underneath my health bar. And basically, once I get to 100 channeling charges, I want to start, you know, I want to get to my SP3, try to charge a heavy into my SP3 to give me an additional prowess, and then I can throw the SP3. And with mutant power back boost, I should be able to essentially end the fight with, you know, a string of SP3s. Now, of course, I did my duels, want to set an example for the Alliance, and here I think I accidentally, well, at some point here, I accidentally trigger mind control with a 4th consecutive light attack. And I honestly can't even tell you exactly why. It certainly wasn't on purpose. But there it is. I accidentally threw an additional light. I think I was looking at his his power meter, and at the end of that combo, I realized if I threw it a medium, which gives more combat power to the defender than a light, it would push him over in SP1. So I threw the light just kind of on instinct, which of course accidentally triggered mind control. The 4th light will trigger mind control if he's above 75 channeling charges. So just had to start the SP3 situation here. And for this one, of course, I was not able to kill him. So we're kind of just going to restart. And I just want to keep pushing him to his SP3. Because I have prowess, I thought, you know what, I should go ahead and throw this SP2. I can refresh. I didn't even refresh though. I just added another prowess with a light whiff. And here I just need him to throw his SP2. If he does, I'm gonna win. If he doesn't and I get cornered, you know, I could die. But this SP2 will finish him off. So very sloppy first fight, very scary. I think going into that fight, my game plan was to try to kill his first life without using my, without cashing in on my mind control, basically. So that once he gets to his second life, you know, I can just, you know, recycle my SP3s and mind control, no issue. And I've taken Fury several times with Professor X, and that was the worst one that I've had in a while. So, but that kind of shaped me up a bit. Here we have I think a much, you know, just kind of a much more normal matchup. It's Kate Bishop. I'm using my rank 5 Omega Sentinel. I do have guidance, so I just want to knock her down. And this node has aggro prowess, and I really don't want her to throw her SP2. As long as she can, you know, keep throwing those SP1s and stuff, we should be good here. I'll be power draining her, but Yeah, with the aggro prowess, she just gets a bunch of prowess, which is adding power gain, and I just prefer her to throw her SP1. So I'm not going to worry about my debuffs. I'm not going to worry about light or medium enders here, because every debuff that I put on her that she ends up purifying with the knockdown protection that comes back on a timer, she's going to get an additional prowess for each one that she purifies because of the global. So I really just want to kind of do my light enders so that I'm, not applying a debuff. I can use my heavy to knock her down. It doesn't apply a debuff. And I did there throw my SP3 just to really get some damage in, but yeah, I mean, not really needed, and maybe shouldn't have done that. I'm not really sure. But in any case, this is a pretty safe fight, especially with guidance. And the worst case scenario in this fight really is that I get like a cold snap through the block on her SP2. So that's why I'm trying to bait her SP1s on repeat, but it's just a little bit of a slow fight. Pretty much any tactic defender here is going to be a fairly slow fight with, or a global defender is going to be a pretty slow fight with Omega Sentinel, but she has pretty high base attack and, I would say one of the safer options. Future Ant-Man is a really, really strong option. He's definitely better than Omega Sentinel there, and for purifiers, because you get all that burst damage on his SP2, and it's passive, so you don't have to worry about like debuffs or anything being purified. But it just worked out there that I needed to use Professor X for Fury to get Professor X an extra charge, and since I was there, I could take Kate Bishop. Okay, and then here, of course, we've got Kitty Pryde. This is, even with the tactic removing her prowess, this is still kind of a dangerous placement. She starts with prowess for some reason. I think it's an interaction with the protection passive that she starts with. But yeah, so here, I mean, I'm going to throw up a cowardice debuff just so that she can never gain prowess again, as long as I keep that up. And yeah, I'm going to try to clear her power here, get an intercept. There I just am able to get a natural intercept. It's, of course, going to go away here, as does my cowardice debuff. So I'm going to reapply. And I was trying to push her to an SP2 just so I could like completely empty her power. But it's all good. She's going to throw this SP1 here in a second. And once she throws the SP1, I can work in my intercept. There, I'm a little bit late to Dex. Again, I think that's just a bit of rust. And again, there, I'm just kind of able to get a natural intercept within the flow of the fight, which is always nice, and this SP2 kills her. So I wouldn't say it's like super dangerous, but yeah, the tactic doesn't like completely erase Kitty. There's still some dangers with her. All right, I'm using Professor X here. I am placing guidance just so I can freely parry him, because this node does have Mighty Charge. And I'm not even really concerned about managing his forms. I'm not going to like alternate his forms. I just don't want him to be in Magma when I throw my SP3, because all of my attacks are energy, and in Magma he's got like, just massive energy resist. I think it's like 8,000 energy resist, which is basically like what Bishop's is. I could be a little bit wrong about that. If I am, I'm just going to blame the off-season. But so yeah, I'm just going to parry heavy. I'm just going to play this very, very safe. I'm going to parry heavy all the way up to 3 bars of power. I don't care about his, again, I don't care about his forms. As long as he's either in, as Lags would call, man mode or Uru, that's totally fine. I will happily throw my SP3 with him in Uru. Doesn't matter to me. And yeah, I just really need to clear his power, and then once I clear his power, I don't need to be heavy punishing those. This one I do for spacing, but now I can just charge my heavy, falter him, get my intercept, and then I'll just start this SP3 cycle, and I think it'll take 2 or maybe 3 SP3s, but very, very simple. I get a prowess for each Cerebro charge that I have, so I had 2 coming into this fight, and then I'll also get a prowess after each SP3, so successive SP3s are going to do a little more damage. And yeah, basically after the first SP3 animation with mutant power back boost, you just spam that special button, and fight's going to be over here. So pretty simple. My next fight is a long shot on node 39. Of course, the safest, I think, option here would be Torch with Flame on, but we just didn't have the luxury of sending a Torch over there, and Omega Sentinel is who I'm going to use here. She is immune to Nullify, so I really don't have to worry too much about, I don't have to worry about, him nullifying my armors or anything like that, and I really just have to manage his power gain from Mystic Dispersion, because anytime my precision buff from my Dexterity Mastery expires, he will gain Mystic Dispersion, and that's just going to make it more annoying to intercept him, because I'm not going to try to intercept him at all in this fight unless he's under a bar of power, and that Mystic Dispersion is just going to kind of keep him annoyingly right above a bar of power for most of this fight. He's also incredibly stingy in this fight. He just won't really let me intercept him. I obviously was able to get that first intercept without an issue, which is great. But yeah, he's really not gonna play along for the rest of this fight here. So every time I hit him after dexing his SP1, basically he goes back to a bar of power because of my Dexterity Mastery expiring. And yeah, I'm gonna kind of fluctuate between dashing in on his SP1 for spacing and just, dexing it and taking my chances basically on the next special. And it's just really kind of a feel. But here, this is kind of a perfect scenario. I should not have hit him there. I should have tried to bait the SP1 because he was just at a bar of power, and I'm pretty sure that's what I do here. Yeah, I'm going to back off. And I know that if he throws the SP1, of course, there the armor break is that giving him Mystic Dispersion? Shit, the armor break debuff is giving him Mystic Dispersion when it takes away or quote-unquote nullifies one of my armor buffs, so that's pretty annoying. But yeah, alright, so here's a perfect opportunity. Try to do the light intercept. He doesn't play. I'm going to have to hit him, but it pushes him over a bar of power because of the dexterity, the precision from dexterity. Super, super annoying. He's just being pretty lame. But overall, you guys can see, there's not a ton of risk in this fight. And, when I'm able to get the intercepts, I'm doing decent damage. I think I am going to throw the SP3 before this protection comes off just to try to get as much damage as possible. And of course, once he gains that protection passive again, once it comes off of cooldown, he'll purify all of these debuffs, but that's not really a problem because I just wanted to take his health down as much as possible. And then here, I'm just going to combo him to death. I'm going to turtle up. I can, with the damage reduction and stuff, not really a big deal to finish off 5%. Alright, so the last fight, and really kind of the fight that I built my entire war around, is this Sasquatch. And, I've got 4 Cerebro charges. That's great. I've got this Super Guidance. By the way, I didn't mention this, but Professor X and White Magneto have a synergy that enhances the White Magneto's guidance. It basically doubles it. It gives you an additional 15% attack boost, I think, for all fights, or maybe that's only for the boss node, but I think it is only for the boss node, but for all other ones you get like a +5. So you're getting additional attack. But in this fight, basically, as normal, I want to get up to my SP3. As long as I'm above, I think, 25 channeling charges, I cannot miss or be evaded. Obviously, the evade doesn't matter, but this node with missing in action and whatever the other part of it is called, it is nice to not have to worry about the miss, even though I'm just spamming heavy attacks anyway. And my goal going into this fight was to throw my SP3 during Wrath, because if I throw it during Wrath, number one, he's going to have more power, and when he has more power, the more bars of power your defender has when you're using Professor X, the higher potency you get on your prowess effects. But, yeah, he just kind of doesn't let me do it, which is fine. There I throw a heavy attack, but it pushes him to an SP3. He, of course, does not have any rage stacks, which is perfect. That just means that he won't reduce any of my damage. And because he's at 3 bars of power, I'm getting the full 50% additional prowess potency on every prowess buff that I have. So this worked out. As you guys saw, I took like massive block damage while he was in Wrath. Sasquatch in Wrath has like a huge boost in block penetration. Of course, is stun immune and all that stuff. So basically, when I pushed him to an SP3 with my heavy attack, had I not gotten my SP3 off before he stood up, he would have thrown his SP3 and I would have died. So ended up going well, but definitely a little bit scary when he stood up with 3 bars of power. But that's it for my war. We, as an alliance, did have a really good clear. We won this war. And yeah, I don't know. Starting 1-0 with a good clear feels great. We did quite a bit in the off season. I don't know what other alliances did, but we did plan. And then the final war of the off season, we pushed. So we had everybody boosting and kind of treating their preparation process like they would for a normal war. And it could just be a coincidence, but I think that helped us get off to a really strong start. And we'll see if that strong start carried over to War 2. I'll post that video as soon as I can. But thanks for watching. Leave a like. Subscribe if you want to. But certainly follow along if you enjoy the War videos, because I'll be posting them throughout the season. Thanks.